Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Whole Story. As you can see, my man Alex is back and healthy. How you feeling, brother?
I'm all right. How you doing, Johnson?
I'm doing very good. Did you miss last week?
I did. I appeared in the chat for a little bit.
You did. You
Yeah.
did. Because I almost canceled the show, but I didn't. Did you miss it even more when you saw the show was on, or did you just miss it in general?
Just miss it in general. I like being here on Mondays. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like you're the one I geek out the hardest with on Formula One. So this is my release every week, So dude, I'm so happy to have you back. We have Miami this week. We have back-to-back sprint races. Last race in China was a sprint weekend. We have a sprint weekend here in Miami, but we have a lot of off the track stuff to discuss, which doesn't always happen for us. So I'm excited to get into it here.
Silly season has begun.
Yes, sir. Silly season, and we are in round 6. That's what we're headed to. Silly season in round 6. There's 24 races, so usually silly season is like from 12 on around the summer break.
Well, halftime, yeah.
Yeah, no, but we're a quarter of the way into this thing, and we are as silly as it can possibly be. Dude, where do we even start? What do you want to start with? I'll let you kick it off.
That's tough. We got a lot to talk about here. You know what? I feel like Hamilton started the silly season. So let's start with the disrespect of Hamilton with the Mercedes contract they're offering to Max Verstappen.
All right, let's get into it. There's rumors that apparently Toto will be meeting with Max, his dad, and I'm going to assume his manager. I forget the name of the guy, but they're supposed to be meeting after the Miami Grand Prix, the three of them, and the offer is supposed to be a chunky, to say the least.
Yeah, well, everything Hamilton wanted pretty much.
You never know what you got until it's gone, and then now to try to get it back, they're going to offer the world to Max. It was 150 million-ish.
That's what I've seen. Rumors, but yeah.
Euros? Was it euros? Or was
no
it?
clue. And I actually didn't look at it. I just saw 150 million.
150 million. I think if
Something.
it's 150 million euros, I think it's like 168 US dollars. So, but still a lot of money. A lot of money. But they're gonna throw him the world, and then I feel like if they don't get Max here, I really feel like all signs are leading to Kimi. They have him doing a ton of test sessions right now.
I don't think this makes sense for both sides.
Okay.
Max is in the best car.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't. I guess if Newey leaves, it's gonna be even tougher.
Yeah.
That's spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
That's another story we can talk about. But other than that, I don't think it makes sense for him to leave to go to Mercedes, who's arguably a midfield car right now, probably 5th.
Yeah.
4th, let's say, on a good day. And on top of that, Mercedes is in shambles. Toto seems like he can't grab everything by the reins. It's almost proving more and more again that Toto got handed gold, man. He got that Braun team inherited to him. He had Michael Schumacher come over to him, and he signed on. And yeah, while Schumi and him didn't produce championships, Schumi's a big name that drew attention. He got Niki Lauda got Lewis, so on and so forth, and history has been made.
Absolutely. And what I find really interesting about all these negotiations is that this is because of what Lewis Hamilton did. This is a next year thing. Mm-hmm. But like you said, Max is leaving the best car, and Mercedes, obviously, they have a lot of hype surrounding their 2026 power unit already and all this 2026 stuff. But there's a whole 2025 season that's still on the table under the current regs. So we're already looking like Red Bull's going to have the fastest car again next year. So he's going to make a move and leave a championship winning car out there. Like you said, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't logistically make sense to me at all. And then on top of that, Mercedes is like, okay, you have a driver lineup of Max and George. Do you just give up on George and move to Kimi for the next 2 years?
Yeah.
A year or so? Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. I would honestly, if I'm them, I get a guy, I don't know who they want to sign there. I don't think Max is coming. I realistically don't. Even with this money offer, I heard the biggest thing he wants is he wants guarantees that the car's going to improve.
And they're supposed to be taking Helmut Marko as well.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So it's kind of a pair. It's a pair deal, I believe.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't see Marko doing well at Mercedes. He's got too much of a mouth. Mercedes is a lot of PR. They want to maintain a good image, and Marko isn't the safest person to maintain a good image. Red Bull has taken on that bad boy persona, with Horner and with with Marco and so on and so forth kind of thing. Even with Vettel, when Vettel was dominating with those 4 years, Vettel was the most hated driver on the grid for a long time. And it's so weird to look at him now because he's probably the most beloved driver on the grid now, like when he was racing, like towards the end of his career.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's interesting, I guess you could say. But it doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't. I don't think it makes sense to a lot of people. It's just it would make sense in 2026, to be honest, if he would want to experiment going there.
For Max, yes.
Yes.
But again, for Mercedes, I don't think it does. Because you're giving up a chunk of money for Max. Don't get me wrong, Max is a fantastic driver. He's going to go down as one of the greatest to ever compete in the sport. But he's not marketable. Let's not pretend and shoot.
Whoa, you don't think he kills that Heineken commercial he's in? Did you see it?
Oh, wait, I actually have. Yeah, the Heineken 01.
Yeah.
But that's just like funny if you know who Max is. But if you're like an outsider looking in, you're going to know more who Lewis is than Max is.
Yeah,
you know, Lewis is
1000%.
more involved in like the pop culture than Max is. Max is just there strictly for racing.
Yeah.
So it's funny to F1 fans, but to like outside fans are like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that makes sense from a marketing perspective.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
I didn't even think about it like that.
So like in that sense, Max isn't going to have all the sponsors that Lewis has. Max isn't going to do any of the stuff that Lewis does. For marketing wise, like I can't see him wanting to answer questions and do all the stuff that Lewis does marketing wise. And on top of all that, like you have Kimi sitting there, and it's a slap in the face to George too. Like you're pretty much telling me like, yeah, we're giving up on you in 2 years. You know, you gave you a shot, but we gave you a tractor to drive.
By the way, the only one to win a race for Mercedes in the past 3 years.
It's been George.
We've seen it happen. Yep.
And it's like you're going to sign Max, and obviously you're going to have Kimi within the next 2 years.
Yep.
Let's say, right? Let's say he goes to, because I know the rumor right now he's going to go to Williams. He's for that Logan Sargent seat.
Potentially. No, I've heard other rumors.
All right, but like regardless, like Kimi's going to be somewhere within the next 2 years, and he should be in that Mercedes F1 team, like the A team. And I just don't think it makes sense to sign Max.
Okay.
For both parties.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out. This is what Hamilton going so early, so fast to Ferrari did to everyone. It made it so that we have to talk about this week in and week out, but we can't skip it because it's just too important. Honestly, where Max, Newey, Marco, Hamilton, and Ferrari, it's just too important to not talk about it weekly. So here we are talking about it again.
And then let's just hop right into the next step. Let's go to Newey.
Yeah.
Newey's rumored to be unhappy with Red Bull. I guess he's really not happy with them sticking with Horner. I've heard rumors that the person who made the allegation against Horner was one of Newey's assistants.
Okay.
Which really triggered him. And I guess their relationship is very strained and he doesn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
I know the front runner for his new team, if he potentially leaves, is Ferrari.
1000%.
Everybody's talking about it. It's the dream team everybody wants to be on right now.
Yeah.
Fred Vasseur.
Yeah.
Genius, mastermind.
Yes.
You know,
Did you see?
Bernardo need to go a long time ago.
See the meme of him? You know how
the little Uzi thing?
Yeah, him coming out with the mic. Oh my god, that's first of all top notch meme. Whoever they put there, if you put the right caption, oh my gosh, so good. Sorry, keep going.
So yeah, Fred Vasseur going ham. Another rumor was Aston Martin, who
Yep.
has the funds, and I know Aston Martin's another little tidbit. Nothing huge, at least not for the F1 really thing. But Lance Stroll selling like 25%. Lance Stroll Senior, sorry, is selling 25% of his stock into Aston Martin or whatever.
Yeah.
But that, I guess they offered him a heavy contract with lots of money, and he does not want to go there.
Yeah. No, I think he also wants to design other things in that, like things that like beyond Alex and I's and probably most of yours, like he wants to design like certain like road cars and other things that like Ferrari would give him a good option to. I guess Aston Martin could. They have road cars and things of that nature as well. Also saw a report. Someone reported that someone said that Newey wasn't involved in the day-to-day and that someone else was involved in designing these cars. And Newey's wife got on Twitter and said this is garbage, said someone needs to fact-check these people who are putting out this information. Then I guess something came out about that, something about a 65-year-old and I don't know. Newey's wife is tweeting, which makes it seem like even worse, like he's unhappy and ready to leave that scenario.
And it's just crazy to think that Horner thinks he can generally do this stuff on his own.
Yeah.
Like you're losing one of the greatest talents in F1 history in Max, potentially, and then you're losing, not arguably, the greatest designer, aerodynamic designer in F1 history in Adrian Newey. and you just like, yeah, that was all me. 12 out of the 13 World Drivers Constructor Championships that Red Bull had were under Newey's cars.
They don't have 12.
Whatever. I forget what exact number.
That's not right.
Who was he a part of before? Was he always Red Bull?
No, I think he designed a McLaren car that
Maybe that's
Hamilton drove back in the day.
So maybe it's 12 of the 13. No, because Hamilton never drove for him. That's one of Newey's. Newey wants to work with him. That's a big thing.
Keep going.
But yeah, so yeah, regardless, like everything that Red Bull has accomplished has been because of Newey. It's been the four World Drivers Championships for Vettel that era. That was all Newey's car designs, and then everything with Max has been Newey's car designs.
That's true.
Losing Newey is a big loss to Red Bull, and I'd like to think they were smarter than to let him go, but I guess they really like Horner. He made a really good impression on those owners.
Yeah, it's crazy because it really feels like just feels like everything is crumbling around Horner, but like we don't address it. Like Marco and Max might go to Mercedes, and Newey might go to Ferrari. Like it's all crumbling, and yet we're not going to address it.
That's the thing that bugs me too. Like this entire case with which we all knew was going to happen with Horner, it just seems like brushed under the rug.
Yeah,
so quickly, and no one's talking about it anymore. And it's like, it's so scary how much money talks in this world.
Yeah, and if you can just kind of get through
initial storm.
Yeah, the initial storm and just wait it out. You know, time heals all is what they say, but also time is just getting
just winning. Winning will make you forget everything.
Yeah, and these guys are out there dominating every week. So, yeah, so you have Max and Helmut Marko to meet with Toto. Oh no, excuse me, Max, his dad and manager probably to meet with Toto, and then you have Newey potentially leaving. But then there's things there too where Newey might not be able to join Ferrari for like a year. So there's some stuff. There's still some stuff. But again, it's all the one thing about Red Bull too is we don't have any facts yet. This is just heavy speculation every single time. No facts, right? I haven't seen anything official.
No, nothing official. No official statement has been made.
Yeah. So we'll jump to the team that apparently Newey wants to go to, which is Ferrari's made some news this week. They have a new sponsor. They are now Scuderia Ferrari HP. The sponsors apparently covering 66% of the budget, which is crazy. HP has sponsored cars in the past. They are not unfamiliar with Formula One territory. And it's all kind of lining up well. Ferrari is going to unveil a special blue kind of scheme this week. They used to do, one of their drivers used to wear a blue suit, and then some other guys did, and then the team even wore blue shirts in the garage at one point. So Ferrari, new sponsor, new livery for Miami, pulling out all the stops. It's exciting.
Yeah, I've seen content of the livery. Not the biggest fan, but
you think they're legit? Because I haven't seen anything legit.
I've just seen concepts, nothing legit, just concepts. But
it's supposed to be a one race thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
That Ferrari ride is just so clean.
Yeah.
Sucks to get rid of it.
I don't think this is like a HP's coming on. They're changing it going forward. I think this is a one-off thing. But you're right, a blue livery on a red car.
Yeah, but I just opened the doors for more sponsorships to come in. I saw another big one. I forget who it was, but I know they were in talks with McLaren, and I want to say Aston Martin, but I can't remember the name of the sponsor. But it's a big door that's been open for these constructors. So it's
McLaren is in talks with MasterCard to be their title sponsor. Aston Martin already has Aramco as their title sponsor. So if this McLaren deal goes through with MasterCard, Williams would be the only team that's left without a title sponsor. All the other 9 teams on the grid, all have title sponsors. You have Mercedes, AMG, Petronas, Haas's MoneyGram, Alpine's WBT. Some of these things you forget about until you look. Red Bull is Oracle Red Bull Racing. So title sponsors seem to be the way to go to bring in more money. McLaren is in talks. So if MasterCard would look clean on their car with the orange already.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, you know, sometimes
I'm just worried about the name. We don't want another Visa Cash App Red Bull.
No, I saw they'd be McLaren, Mercedes, MasterCard. And then Triple M.
Oh, true.
That's kind of that's not too bad. That's better than the other one. No?
Yeah, 100%.
So we'll just keep going with McLaren here because they're bringing upgrades this week to Miami. Not as big of an upgrade as they brought to Austria or Singapore last year. They've said noticeable, decent step, quote unquote, those right there. But not as big as last year. But second place last week, bringing upgrades. That could be exciting.
Yeah, I heard it's gonna be like it's gonna be the Ferrari and McLaren a lot closer.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I actually can't wait for that. And McLaren's driver, Lando Norris, I don't know if you saw the photos on the internet this week, got a little dinged up on a boat in Amsterdam. Dude, they said he got a cut on his nose. His face was wrapped up pretty well. I don't know if you saw the photos.
I didn't see the photos. I
Yeah.
just saw a lot of people complaining because I guess he said he stopped DJing and now he's DJing in the pictures,
Oh, I don't know.
which I didn't know was
Does
a
it
big
matter if
deal,
he
but-
DJs? Yeah, we're both saying that's it. We're saying, what's the?
But like
what's
I
the-
don't know. I don't know his entire story.
Yeah, but the facey wrap was like gauze all the way around. It was kind of legit.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
But I think I already saw videos of him at Miami, so it's not going to affect his racing at all. Talk about Mercedes. Someone else bringing upgrades this week. Some upgrades they were going to bring to Imola, they're bringing to Miami. They're going to hope that it's going to make a difference. They said last week that they went conservative with the setup during the sprint race and then went crazy during the race. They're going to do the reverse. They're going to try crazy setup during sprint and then kind of tone it down for the race so that hopefully better results.
Going off the tone of your boys, you don't seem too excited there, Johnson.
I mean, I need to
You
see
tempering
something.
expectations.
But yeah, they've been
No top 5.
What have upgrades done for us? Yeah, I'm not doing the top 5 thing. Okay, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not doing top 5. I think DraftKings has actually very good odds this week. As I did up that graphic, I can't wait to go over that with you. But yeah, so Mercedes upgrades and McLaren upgrades are 2 big things that we need to look out for. Weird thing I saw, Carlos Sainz's manager.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Interrupt. Do you think it's weird when they bring in the upgrades, like especially on tracks that they know they're going to be like weaker at? Because Miami's a street circuit,
Yes.
right? And like Mercedes doesn't excel in street circuits like at all, unless it's long straights,
Not usually, correct?
right? So like, what do you want to bring it to a track you can actually see some difference in data instead of just being stuck in a DRS train?
No, they need to to try to find the data as fast as possible.
You think so? Like a street
Yeah,
circuit?
they're
data is that
different
much less-
circuits. They said
Like Imola, like
they
you
said
wouldn't have
China was
wanted-
very front limited, and then Miami is kind of more rear.
Okay, so
But you need to get it on the car.
you think so?
Yeah, you can't wait a week. I mean, especially not when you're this poopy. You know, if you're Red Bull, you can not upgrade the car at all. It doesn't matter.
Next year.
Nah, or never. It might. I would, dude. Can you imagine no updates to their car for until the end of next year to see if teams can catch up?
I still think they'd probably be winning.
Yeah, me too.
I think Ferrari would probably be within a second gap towards the end. Like
Mm-hmm.
Charles next year I guess Lewis and Charles would probably be within a second of Max.
Yeah.
But if Max is still on Red Bull,
That would be so fun. It would need to be Max too. I like what you just said. If Max was to stay in Red Bull and we were to say no more upgrades until the end of next year, if they would still win the championship next
I
year.
think they would.
Oh,
I
that'd
think
be
they're
so
far
cool.
ahead.
Do you think they would do it for us or no?
Of course not.
Oh man.
I don't know. I mean, like, I could see them upgrading this car this year,
Mm-hmm.
do a little bit during the off season for next year, and just start prepping for the new regs.
That's
Because they have a lot to do.
Yeah.
They also have they have to make that engine themselves now. It's no longer Honda powered for 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got a lot to do.
yeah, no doubt. As I was saying, Carlos Sainz's manager is also named Carlos, and they're cousins. So I think his manager's name is also
I remember
Carlos
learning
Sainz.
about that in Drive to Survive. I think it was season 1 or 2. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
I didn't know that until this week, and I was like, "Wow, they're both Carlos Sainz." I forgot that they were cousins, because then it made sense.
He's a junior, right? Too. Carlos Sainz Jr. Or is his
Carlos Sainz Jr. is a junior.
No, the
driver.
the racer. Yes.
Yeah.
And then his
The other
dad's
one-
his dad's senior, and then he has another cousin.
Yeah,
named
but
Carlos.
he's not.
He's not Sainz. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have a cousin named Jonathan as well.
Is it Holt?
He's got a different last name,
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
but because it's my aunt's kid. But I mean, that's not super uncommon. At first, I don't know. I thought it was weird at first, and then I put together. I was like, it's not super crazy, but it's cool. I see you got the pink bottle or purple with
Lilac.
with the lilac on your shirt too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lilac.
you're going heavy lilac right now. I love it. More news.
Spring colors.
Hockenheimring hopefully coming back to F1 in Germany.
I saw they were adding upgrades to it.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
New company bought it 5 to 10 years. They're hopefully supposed to pump 250 million into it, euros. Apparently, some of those upgrades. I think Porsche has a big thing there, and they're gonna upgrade the Porsche
makes
thing.
sense,
They're gonna
surely.
add a hotel and then do some other stuff. So, I don't know if a lot of it's going to upgrade in the track. I don't know what level the track is at right now, but last race in 2019, I think it'd be cool to see Germany back on the calendar for sure.
They definitely got to get Germany back at the calendar.
no doubt. But then it comes to who are we dropping, which is always a problem. But
They got 24 races. They could drop one of the U.S. ones. Just drop Miami.
They got big contract on the U.S. races, Alex. It's not
Did they
that
sign
simple.
one with Miami?
Was that?
Is there a long-term deal with Miami?
I think so. Yeah, I forget. I
know
looked it
Vegas
up one
re-signed for a
time.
bit. I know
I think they joined with 10-year contracts.
both of them.
So we're in year 3 of Miami, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think they're big.
Can we just like what is it? Why am I brain farting?
Go ahead, Alex.
I can't think of the word right now. It'll come to me in like 3 years. Keep
Okay.
going, John.
Well, you can text us.
Oh, here we go. Can't we just protest Miami? The race sucks.
Oh. Yeah, protests
It's like
always work.
$17,000 a ticket.
Yeah, protest work. We'll do that. You want
Yeah.
to sign a petition too? Or
Yeah, might as well do
Yeah.
something, bro.
That's going to
If you don't bring any money, like F1 will drop you quick.
Last couple things here. Gasly to Williams rumors. That's what I'm seeing a lot of.
Yeah, I'm seeing. That entire Alpine team is just breaking up. It seems like.
Yeah. Yep. And then the confirmed news that we have, I got 2 things left here. Hulkenberg to Sauber in 2025 to get ready for Audi coming in 2026. Again, every time a driver gets put into place, Fernando, now him, it puts more pressure on the driver market, puts pressure on Carlos Sainz to make a move here. Now you know Bottas or Zhou Guanyu, one of them cannot come back if both of them.
Yeah, I'm hearing rumors it's going to be both of them gone. I think they really want Carlos. I don't think they're going to get Carlos. I think Carlos is going to end up at a little bit of a better constructor.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear they're going to try to put moves on both the Alpine guys.
Yep.
Ocon's like really heavily targeted by them.
Absolutely. You could get Bottas going to Alpine might be a thing as well. That's floating out there. This also opens up the seat next to Kevin Magnussen, which Ryan said that Hulkenberg was scared of the challenge, which is not true. The first comment when we first started the show, Ryan said goodbye and good riddance, Nico. Even though Nico's kind of, I don't want to say he's carrying
Dude,
your
I saw
team.
a lot of Mercedes fans shitting on him.
On Nico?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I was reading it and I'm like, dude, why do you guys hate him so much?
I
And they were
think-
like, oh, he's been in for so long. He's gatekeeping his seat. I'm like, he's performed.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he doesn't have a podium. I'm like, good. Yeah, have you seen the teams he's been on? He's had some of the crappiest luck ever.
Well,
and
no-
that Renault might have been the only team he ever had a chance to score a podium on. And they had reliability issues, as Danny Rick.
Yep, no doubt. But him leaving Haas opens up that seat, which I heard Oliver Behrman is heavily tied to. Williams also has a problem because they have Jack Doohan, I believe. Them or Alpine. Ooh, he's one of their drivers. But he's sitting there too, so he may hop into one of those seats as well. But silly season here is going to get very exciting.
Yes, sir.
But sights to Audi is looking like a real thing.
John, I've never corrected you on this, but I can't stand the way you say signs.
Sights?
Signs.
Science?
Signs.
Signs?
You sound like you're
You want
like
me to hold the what, Z a little bit longer?
You sound like yeah, there you go.
Or the N or the Z? What do you want me to hold
Signs.
longer? Signs?
Signs.
Carlos Sainz?
Yes.
Carlos
You sound like
Sainz.
you're a Pokemon. Signs.
Sainz. There's so much S to it. Sainz. Okay. Carlos. I'm just not gonna say his last name anymore. Carlos to Sauber.
Smooth operator.
I just sing every time. I like that. That means he'd be in Sauber in 2025, which that would just break my heart, to be honest with you.
Just some lucky career for him, man.
Yeah. That'd be a cool off-season week thing, even though we never do any of the things we talk about, to see who had like the unluckiest careers.
Danny Rick, Carlos Sainz. You could
Danny
argue
Rick's tough though,
Danny.
because Danny took himself out of that Red Bull
Yes,
seat.
he took himself out of that Red Bull seat, but he saw the writing on the wall.
What was the writing on the wall? You gonna go somewhere else and win a championship?
No, he saw the writing on the wall that they weren't going to give him any support, and it was all going to be Max. Dude, do you remember the crash that him and Max had? That was completely Max's fault.
At Azerbaijan?
Yeah, well, they blamed Danny Rick. Everybody and their mother said it was Max's fault, but Red Bull blamed Danny Rick.
Yeah, but you could have stayed and won races and won constructor championships, and now you're.
I get that, but like, if
free-floating.
you put yourself in his shoes as like a racer, like a racer through and through. Like he wants to win championships, and when your team isn't backing you, it's
Yeah, but you're not gonna win a championship with Renault. That was not gonna happen.
no. I agree with you there. McLaren was probably his best shot, but McLaren like, was breaking out of the midfield.
Yeah.
Kind of. They were the best to the rest of that point when Danny Rick joined, and then Danny Rick just didn't perform. The cars haven't been designed to him at all. Red Bull, like he likes a similar style to Max, and not a single car has been designed to him that he's got in that sense, except for maybe this new one. But at this point, he's also in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
Not what he used to be. But I think you could throw Danny Rick on that list for unlucky careers.
I'd let
Carlos Sainz.
I'd argue.
You could argue before he got saved, his career got saved, but Checo was out racing almost every single one of his teammates, and he got kicked off every single team. Racing Point, that turned into Aston Martin. They hung on to Lance Stroll, and they got...
No, that's not how that went.
They had Lance Stroll as a driver for Racing Point because Lance Stroll...
No, it's the other way around.
I'm sorry.
It was Force India, and he had the big money sponsor with his Mexican connections. They kicked Esteban Ocon off the team.
He won a race for Racing Point, and I remember him after he won that race.
Yeah, that got him the Red Bull seat. He didn't go down from that. He went up.
Yes, but he got kicked off. He was already off the team. People were freaking out like he won a race and he's not going to have a seat next season.
Oh, because they were bringing in Alonso?
I think they had no, it was Vettel.
Oh, you're right.
And they switched over to Aston Martin. It was Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel. Because Vettel left Ferrari. Before Red Bull, you can argue Checo is what I'm saying. He had a really unlucky career.
Okay. I like it. Last thing. AI racing. Did you see it?
Was that the one where they stopped in the middle of the track? I was so confused.
Yeah, so they had full AI cars racing, like no drivers. They were just in the pits, algorithms racing each other.
Yeah, so somebody commented saying, the future of racing is in good hands.
Yeah.
Stopped in the middle of the track. The other one weaves by him and then slams on his brakes too.
Yeah. It was not a good showing.
Dude, it's scary with those things. Start saying thank you to Siri and Alexa now. I'm telling you, when they take over, they remember.
Yeah, but I think you said it perfectly. We're in good hands with racing. Let me go over. We are Miami this weekend for the sprint race. Let me go over the weekend format before we get into the gambling or into the odds here. This is all Eastern Standard Time. We have free practice 1 Friday at 12:30 p.m. Sprint qualifying Friday at 4:30 p.m. The sprint race is on at 12 p.m. on Saturday. Qualifying is on at 4 p.m. on Saturday, and then the race is on at 4 p.m. on Sunday. It'll be a spectacle. All the stars come out for this one. I read somewhere that this guy, the owner, makes more money this weekend than he does the whole NFL season, which is just absolutely absurd in the most absurd possible way.
I didn't know that. That's insane.
That's absolutely nuts. I hope it's right because I've been telling everyone that, and I feel pretty confident, but it's pretty nuts.
Especially because Miami's pretty good now too.
Oh yeah, yep. We're gonna go into here. We're gonna check our game. Excuse me. Okay. I don't know why my transition piece was not working there. All right. So Max last week went from minus 450 to minus 600 this week. All just, but I don't want to say guaranteeing the win, but damn.
He's dominated in Miami too, every single year.
$600 to win 100. That's what you would have to bet. Yeah. He's so dominant. That's crazy. Second, Sergio Perez with plus 1,100, I think is fair with his second place finishes. This is when I started to really like the odds here. Both Ferraris plus 1,800, giving them the same amount of respect.
Time to give Carlos some respect.
Yes, sir. I love it. And then you throw Lando right there plus 1,800. It goes back to what Alex was saying earlier. They think that
Are they only bringing upgrades to one car?
McLaren?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Why?
It's a big gap. Oscar and Lando.
Do you think the gap is wrong? I like it. I think it's perfect.
I think Oscar should be somewhere between Lando and Fernando.
Okay, Alex and I disagree. They have Lando at plus 1,800. They have Fernando, Oscar, Lewis, and George all at plus 4,500. I like all this because this is how basically they finished last week. Like George was on Oscar in the sprint race and then beat him in the race. Fernando was right around them. Mm-hmm. Did George beat Lando in the race? I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I forget already from last week. So. But that bunch was all near each other last week.
Or in the sprint?
In the race.
In the race, didn't Lando finish second?
Not Lando. Oscar. Sorry, I meant Oscar. Oh. Oscar, Fernando, and George were all near each other last week.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, so I like that. And then Lewis, if he doesn't apparently go the opposite way of the car setup, plus 4,500. I like all those numbers. And then you have Lance at plus 15,000. Danny Rick starts at plus 30. Alex, Yuki, Valtteri, Nico, K-Mag, all plus 30,000. This is where I think it gets kind of embarrassing. They keep Joe Guan Yu at plus 40,000, the solo driver. And now they have the Alpines listed at plus 50,000 with Logan Sargent. Usually Logan Sargent's in a league in his own in the bottom. And Alpine has now joined him, dude. How bad is that? That's really bad, no?
It's awful. You know what sucks, too? Is like, as much as we rank on Logan Sargent, I think it sucks for the fans that are newer. In F2, he was pretty dominant.
He earned the seat, right?
Yeah,
like,
he did. He deserved to be in F1. It's just, man, he can't put it together. And that Alpines, I just never get over. Esteban, we need you to push. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you know what's funny is I would be nervous to ask him to push in that car all year because you've given him such a junk car. It's not like if you asked Max to push, he'd be like, okay, and he'd find a couple tenths out of nowhere. But I liked those odds. I thought they were very good. I thought they were very good odds for what the weekend is. This track has produced some DRS train races, right? Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about that. But they have a couple DRS zones, and there's always a slim chance that,
Red Bull could overtake everyone 30 times.
Yeah, I mean, the race might have been a little bit more exciting last year when Max was starting from. This was the race he started from. Is this the race 15? He started from 15th? No. He was in Q3. This is when Leclerc wrecked, and then me and you had big discussions on if it was okay that someone wrecks and then stays ahead of
that's
the
right.
other
Yeah,
people.
Leclerc red flagged the Q3.
Yeah, they said the car was such on the line. All right, but let's transition to our prediction part of the show here. We're going to throw my old dad on the screen. He's joining us today. Give me 1 second to get you set up here, CJ. All right. I got to do some setting shenanigans. All right. CJ, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no.
Yes, I can.
Why can't we hear him?
Oh,
I can hear you. I can hear you guys. Can you guys hear me now?
You can't hear me either, right?
No, I can't hear him.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello? Hello? I can hear you guys.
All right. Try one more time.
I can hear you guys.
I can hear him.
Hey,
Sweet.
we can hear him. Oh, man.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, Ryan, if you're in the chat and you could just confirm that you can hear him too, that'd be amazing. I think you're grabbing audio from probably one of our mics, but that's fine. I think you'll be able to hear both of us. Alex, how exciting is this? Week 1, we tried to get him on. We had the worst audio issues, and here we are, round 6, and we get him back on. This is exciting.
I'm more excited to know what his first pick is. I see Max and Max there.
Yeah, Dad, I was.
Listen, hey, I was just going to say how much I missed you last week, Alex. Let's keep it at that.
Yeah, I was getting ready the pick predictions, and I just left Max as one for Alex and I because I know that's what we're gonna pick. But with you, you're a wild card, so I didn't put in your pick. But before
wild card.
Yes, sir. Before we get started, I guess we can call it an interview with some questions. If you guys don't know, this is my dad. He's in the chat every show. We appreciate him. But so, Alex, I remember like when we would get ready for church in the morning. I want to say, especially when we were going to Catalyst, I would remember him having Formula One on before we left. Now that makes sense.
So this has been around for you since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it makes sense because F1 races are always on Sunday mornings, and I was like, all right, this makes sense. But dude, I thought it was so boring. No one was near each other. But my dad was always a racing junkie.
Who were you rooting for, CJ? Mr. Hole? Back then.
I just had it on. I really wasn't rooting for anybody.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he can be a casual fan on a lot of things, which I respect, especially when it comes to like that, just to have it on. Would you ever think that I would be into it as much as I am right now?
No.
Did you think it would be like NASCAR or something?
Yeah, if it was any kind of racing, I would have picked Formula One. Definitely not.
I just find, yeah. I do remember there was a driver too that I never, Rubens Barrichello. Like, there's just certain
Oh my
names,
gosh.
yeah, like coming from the
Yep.
TV, that I just always remember. Do you? So you can actually speak to this better than we can. Do you think that the racing is better now than it was back when you were, watching it, Rubens Barrichello, Juan Pablo days, when you were just casually watching it?
I don't know about that.
You,
I don't know. It was pretty good back then. Oh, it gets strung out a lot now. I feel like it wasn't strung out as much back then.
It was
Okay.
more wheel to wheel. At least going back and watching it.
Yeah.
You weren't relying on a DRS just to take over.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he was the only one there. Um, and and then my dad, this just came to my head because my dad worked for the package store back in the day. One of his suitcases that he had for the longest time was the Marlboro. He had a Marlboro red suitcase. And I just kind of, now me and you associate that with Ferrari all the time.
Yeah.
When you were at the package store, Marlboro was that big. Was like Ferrari that big, like around your scene at all, or no?
It was.
Gotcha.
It
Yeah,
was.
That's dope.
And I traveled a bunch for racing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it was crazy because I had the only red bag. So anytime I went anywhere, we went to get our luggage. As soon as you saw the red bag, you knew it was mine.
That's sick.
I mean, it was kind of ghetto, but it was nice.
It stuck out. It got the job done.
I wonder
Yeah,
if there
so
were,
it did.
I wonder if there was people who would like see you traveling and they'd be like, "Oh man, maybe this guy's like a
Ferrari
big
fan,
Ferrari
yeah.
fan." Yeah,
No, no,
not one person.
no, because the way you got those Marlboro bags was they had these things called Marlboro Miles on the side of a cigarette pack, and you saved them up and sent them in. And I got that bag from doing that.
That is insane.
And I don't,
That's
and I
crazy
don't
to think
smoke.
about.
And I don't smoke. I never smoked. But I worked at a place where everybody smoked. So they'd throw their things and I just pick them up. I take the miles off and then I send them in.
And that's how you got your bag. I love it.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
last question. We're going into Miami. I know you watch the show. I know you watch a lot of races. I don't know how much you retain. Can you give me one or two of your favorite tracks, if you have any, that Formula One goes to throughout the calendar year?
I love Monaco, just the setup there, but the racing is horrible.
All right, you saved yourself there at the end. I was gonna be so mad. Yes, you're right. I agree with you. What else?
Um, I don't know. I thought China was good.
Yeah, China's cool.
The kangaroo.
I don't know.
court.
I don't know. The only one I ever watched like a bunch of was the Canadian Grand Prix. I thought was decent.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's probably the one that we'll go to first.
Oh yeah, I'm not affording America ever.
Yeah, no. I had someone ask me today if we've ever been to one, and it's hard to not laugh when people ask, like,
No, you
bro,
go
there's-
outside the country. It's cheaper to go buy a plane ticket outside the country, get your passport if you don't have it, than
Yeah.
to spend, than to fly in, rent a car, get a hotel that's going to be upcharged $5,000, and then get a ticket.
yeah,
And 3-day pass, forget about it. You're selling your entire, just mortgage your house.
Yeah. I looked at it today. So it's funny how they list it like for $150 you can get a ticket into the event,
yeah.
but there's no seat or anything like that. The first seat starts at $1,250,
Sounds about right.
and that's a seat for one day. That's like
Now,
not
is that Miami?
that's Miami, yeah.
He was trying to go, bro.
We should start a GoFundMe now.
Yeah, I think that the first one we go to as a group here is going to be Canada. So it's funny that that's one that you always cheer for, or watch. What about drivers? Who do we like?
Who do I like now?
Yeah.
I'm definitely a Lewis fan.
Yes, sir. Supporting his son.
Who did
Yeah.
you like in the past when you were watching, when John was a kid?
There was a lot of Michael Schumacher was winning everything back then.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Lando now too.
Okay.
Sweet. I like it.
That's a cool.
Did you watch when Senna was racing?
A little bit.
Senna, I think I would have loved. Like his driving style was so aggressive, but he was like so much fun to watch. Like going back and watching him.
I don't know the years, but like I'm sure that the TV coverage of the Senna days were tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we forget that we have this insane exposure to racing. That like you got to think there was a time when Schumacher was dominating when my dad was watching, but like if my dad didn't catch the race live, like that was it.
That's true. Yeah.
The way we can watch races now is nuts. Not let alone the Senna days or even before that, right? Or
before
towards,
Senna. Yeah.
you know, the Senna race was Schumacher.
Yeah, he did.
Towards the end.
Yeah. It was towards the end of his career.
All right, let's make some picks. Alex and I are both taking Max for first, right, Alex? We're good with
sir.
that. So that leaves you for your number one pick.
All right, I'm going to go on a limb here.
Expect nothing else.
I'm picking Max.
Okay. All right, keep it simple. I appreciate that. Alex, what do we do? Are you going number 2 here?
Yeah, I'm a ride with the red flagger himself, Charles.
You're gonna go with Charles.
Yeah.
Did you call him the red flag? Oh, from qualifying last year. Okay.
But he did look quick in qualifying last year. He seems to like the track too.
I'm gonna go with a repeat of first and second last year because Sergio performed so well here. I'm taking Sergio number 2. That leaves you, Dad. Who you got for number 2?
Okay, here's where I start to go off the rails a little.
Okay.
I'm taking Lando second.
Oh, back-to-back
like it.
second
The
places for
upgrades.
Lando with
Okay.
upgrades. That's like a possibility. I like that a lot.
It's my turn.
I can't really see the chat, but I'm hoping that Ryan is approving.
Ryan said that everyone probably thought you were a chain smoker back in the day to the Marlboro comment, and then asked if you ever watched K-Mag's dad. But I don't know if he ever got any coverage, Ryan.
K-Mag's dad raced?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You don't ever remember the name Magnuson, do you?
I do.
Oh, okay. CJ
I
did
do.
watch K-Mag's dad. Oh my, Ryan's probably doing a backflip right now. He's so excited.
All right, me and P3. I like what your dad did because it's throwing me for a loop because I was gonna follow suit with you and go Checo because he's notoriously street master, right?
Yeah.
But I like the upgrade potential with McLaren. I'm gonna go on the limb too. I'm gonna go Lando.
All right.
Look at
Lando.
that. I'm changing the show already.
He did. I really was settled in on Checo until you made that call.
But I'm not going to forget that Ferrari has had battles here for the lead in the past. So I'm going Charles 3. So Dad, it's your third pick. You have Max.
I'm going
Lando.
Sergio.
Okay.
I think he's getting a full 5 points there, or 3 points.
With Sergio in third?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I'm taking a really big risk.
All right. Well, let's see how risky you're getting with pick number 4, Alex.
I'm gonna go Lando. I'm sorry, not Lando. Checo.
Checo?
Yeah.
All right. So we all got Sergio and Max in the top 5 already. That's a given. For my 4th place, I don't want to disrespect the man. He's been running pretty well. Yeah, but I got to go Lando 4. I don't even think. Yeah, Lando 4. Dad, you're up.
Charles Leclerc.
All right. So now we all have Charles in the top 5, Lando in the top 5, and Sergio in the top 5. So that means that we're potentially all going to have similar points. It's going to be who hits on the correct position. Alex, bring her home. 5th place at the Miami Grand Prix will be
Carlos Sainz.
all right. The smooth operator.
How do you say that? Science?
Yeah.
How do you say it? How do you say it?
Carlos. That's how I say it.
Okay. Sainz.
I think I have Max, Sergio, Charles, Lando. See, the problem is I have no faith in Oscar. I have little faith in Mercedes. So that leaves me with
Fernando or Carlos.
I don't have faith in Fernando. I don't think that car is fast in a race, only in qualifying. So I'm going Carlos 5. That leaves you as the last pick, Dad.
Here's where I go crazy. I'm taking George Russell.
Why do you always pick George over Lewis? I mean, George did finish ahead last week. So.
Every week this season?
He finished fourth last year there too. So
Look at this guy. He did
Research.
his homework. Yeah, Ryan said you were a true historian, Dad. Ryan picked Max, Lando, Charles, Sergio, and Carlos.
That's almost exactly mine. He just flip-flopped 2 and 3.
Max? Yeah, or it's exactly Dad's. Max, Lando. Oh, no. It's more like yours. Yeah. Shouts out Ryan. All right, Dad. Alex has Max, Charles, Lando, Sergio, and Carlos. I have Max, Sergio, Charles, Lando, and Carlos. And then you have Max, Lando, Sergio, Charles, and George. So Alex and I both have two Red Bulls, 2 Ferraris, and 1 McLaren. And then you have 2 Red Bulls.
1 McLaren, 1 Mercedes, and 1 Ferrari.
Yes, sir. Wow, George in the top 5. Damn.
I'm hoping that they got last year's setup down good, so they know how to make that car go there, and that's what I'm going with.
Wow, that's
I
hopeful.
like it.
But I do hope that if Mercedes has a top 5 worthy car, that Lewis is the one finishing in the top 5, because we need a good finish badly. Ryan asked in the chat, who DNFs first?
I forgot we do this.
Did we do it last week?
We did it for the previous race in for China with Ryan. Well,
But
we used the top 5 constructors, and they can't be in our top 5.
okay,
For a DNF.
Well, Ryan, this is on us for not looking back. We're saying who DNFs first.
I'm sticking with Torpedo George.
You think George DNFs first?
It'll be a Mercedes.
You think it's a Mercedes
I
that
think it's gonna be
DNFs
a
first?
Mercedes. It's either George or Lewis, because Lewis is not gonna sit for the setup. He's gonna change it.
You think they're gonna crash? DNF. We're talking.
Yeah, DNF. So I just think it's bound to I think it's gonna be a Mercedes. I'm gonna go with George because I don't think Lewis is gonna make the mistake of crashing, and
Okay.
George is gonna try to outrace the car. Where Lewis just doesn't care anymore because they disrespected him for so long.
Okay. DNF first. I'm gonna go with Esteban Ocon.
Oh wait, we can go for anyone. Logan Sargent.
No, I thought
Slam that.
Wait, what are we doing?
It has to be
I
top
thought it was
5
like the top
constructors.
teams.
Yeah, the top 5 teams. If we're going for anyone, then
Oh,
yeah.
oh. It has to be who DNFs out of the top 5.
teams. Yes.
Well, I'm not gonna say Lewis ever. So that leaves me with, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Fernando's due for some bad luck. I'll take Fernando.
Okay.
And you
Oh,
said
that's
Lewis.
my pick.
You were gonna say
George.
Fernando too, Dad?
Yep.
You want to stick with
All
it?
right, you can stick with that. That's fine. I got
Yeah,
George.
because otherwise I got to pick Lewis, and I'm not picking Lewis.
Attaboy, Dad. And Ryan said Stroll. So Ryan's going Aston Martin with us
I
too,
mean, that's
Dad.
fair.
Dude,
But
I've seen on
I
board.
feel like we should make an exception for Stroll. Like top 5 teams outside of Stroll, and then add
No. We're not moving the goalposts. We
add
already.
Yuki there or something. Someone who's gonna finish in time. Add Hulkenberg in there.
No. We want Hulkenberg to finish. We like Nico.
But if
all
it's
right.
anyone on track, I'm slamming Sargent.
Sergeant, yeah, no doubt. Dad, thanks for joining us. Second guest ever. You were supposed to be our first guest, but thanks you for watching the show every week and being one of our 4 viewers every week. Because without you, it'd be pretty sad in here. Without you and Ryan, it'd be
Listen,
sad.
I don't have a problem taking second to Ryan. I'm good with that.
All right, Dad. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Take
All
it
right,
easy,
guys.
Stroll.
Peace. See ya.
Bye, Dad. All right. I think. Well, why is my dad still in a room? I feel like I gotta kick him out. He won't know what to do. Is he still there? No, he should be gone.
On the other scene. Well, it's full screen for us, but on your other scene, you can see that he's still there.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. We know we're here. All right. That was a good show.
Solid.
It's the only one people watch. Average view duration 20 minutes. That has to do with that probably has to do with Ryan and Dad tuning in. Concurrent views.
Can we not just blow the stats up for everyone to hear on live? I don't want them to see you go down.
There's no one watching. Nico's dead. Nico's dead to Ryan. Oh man. Let's look real quick where we're at with our pick results. Why is my transition button not working? Yeah, you are in the lead, 42-37, and then the guests are behind 34. So this could be a big one for the guests. I do feel like we're all. How do I say this? I feel like this is one where we're only going to get 2 or 3 points on each other because we all have a similar top 5. It's just like who hits that 1 or 2,
Somebody
right?
could DNF and then throw us all for a loop. Like, I think your dad's going to hit on Checo. I really do.
In third?
Yeah.
You like that?
I like Checo on third a lot.
All right. Well, we'll be back next Monday, 5:30, right, to talk about racing.
Yes, sir.
Ryan wants to talk about some basketball here. Thunder up, Thunder sweep. I'm hoping so tonight, 8:30. Gosh, if Carter's like, so, Dad, I want to pick a basketball team, and I'm like, hey, how about the Thunder? And he's like, no, how about someone else? I'm gonna be like, just pick anyone on the East Coast so you can watch their games, and they're not at midnight.
Yeah, West Coast are brutal.
Bro, I was in high school when I picked this team. I would stay up late to watch these games. It wouldn't even like be a thought. I wouldn't care. Now I'm old and I want to be in bed. Oh, it's so rough. And then Knicks in 5, no doubt. Dude, it was so impressive. I could change Carter's name to Chet. Maybe the next kid when it's time. It was so impressive how loud the Knicks were in Philly.
Insane. I loved it.
I could hear Ryan. You could hear Ryan.
You
on
could
TV,
hear Ryan.
right? No, but dude, for a playoff.
Did you see that video of them all afterwards? Like all the Knicks fans are like stomping on like the Philly band and stuff.
Yeah.
Ryan was there.
Yeah. That's where I saw it from. I saw it from Ryan's story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's like videos all over social media about people posting about like that happening, and Ryan was there. I thought it was like.
Yeah, it's just. First of all, Philly's supposed to be like the most badass sports fans and everything.
Yeah.
And then
Can't
to just
fuck with New York, man.
Yeah,
Can't
no,
mess with
right?
New York.
For it to
And
be
New York to Philly, I don't know how far the drive is.
They
but
said
it's
2
not
hours.
Crazy.
They said 2.
2 hours?
Down
Oh
95.
yeah, no wonder they took over.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
that was crazy.
Yeah, no, that was
I
cool.
saw Meek Mill tweeted. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come down to MSG tomorrow night, but let's have Philly fans show up." I'm like, Meek, you're down bad already. You're just burying yourself now.
Yeah, what are you gonna bring Diddy next? Like, you know, nothing could be worse. Oh man, yeah, no, I think I can't wait to check in on that next game tomorrow night. I think it's gonna be loud. Jalen Brunson is an absolute
Hempson.
Oh, Hempson, that's what we're calling him
Hempson,
now. Absolute stud. But man, it's a good show. Race is
Did
late.
you see Paige? Why am I brain farting her name? Paige. UConn girl, Paige Beckers.
Oh yeah,
She tweeted out she was like Jalen Brunson, and then it was like emoji. Game recognized game, baby.
I also saw that Caitlin Clark. I forget that the WNBA season starts like right now. They start like in June or in May.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they get drafted and then
They go play right away.
They start right away.
I didn't know that. I knew it started at a weird time. I didn't know it was like so soon after the draft.
I want to say May or June. I feel pretty confident on that. So that'll be interesting there. Hey, this race is kind of late for us. 4 p.m. Like, you know what I mean?
I could have lunch, watch the race, or
Lunch,
dinner.
dinner. When do you have kickball on Sunday? So you're gonna be home to watch, or you're gonna be at kickball
12
still?
to it's usually like it's usually like 10 to 2.
Oh, so yeah. So you grab some food after kickball, go home and watch the race.
Yes, sir.
If
the Knicks aren't playing, I don't know what the schedule looks like going forward. I think we have either Milwaukee, Indiana next. If we get by Philly.
Yeah, I don't even know how that would look. If you would win.
We still have to wait. I think they're tied 2-2. No. Is it 2-2? I think it's 2-2. I think Milwaukee and Indiana are tied 2-2.
2 weeks. I heard it on ESPN by accident. I don't even know what that's referring to. I actually just saw on the stream. The Diddy joke just happened on the stream. That's how delayed they are. I think. All right, now I'm just rambling. You got anything else for the people?
Next tape, baby.
Next tape.